Hello and welcome to this fourth day of the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity. It's really good to be with you today. And as you know, the theme of the Churches Together Week of Prayer for Christian Unity is abiding in Christ. And the verse that I want to think about today particularly is the verse from John's Gospel, chapter 15 and verse 15, which says this: I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing, but I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from the Father. So this idea of being friends of Jesus, friends together of Jesus. Friendship really talks about a connection between people, a common bond, love, trust. Friendship enables us to and empowers us and inspires us to cross boundaries and barriers. Barriers of distance, of culture, even religious affiliation. It celebrates difference and diversity. John, the same writer that writes this gospel, in one of his letters to the early church says God is love. So as friends together of Jesus, we live in the ways of love. And that's what we experience as the churches together in Brereton Rugeley and Armitage. God revealing himself, giving himself a human face, if you like, in Jesus Christ. And one thing that we can be absolutely sure about is that Christ did not come to form a new religion, but he came to show us how to live fully human lives, characterized by friendship, by love. And that is how God always intended it to be so. And what I love about the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity, as it comes around each year, is that it always challenges us to that bigger vision of God and his love. And it kind of shames us out of a narrow sectarian identity that we sometimes adopt in our different church silos. We're challenged to let go and to surrender to the bigger story of God's love, which has been unfolding since the very beginning of time. And we are therefore reborn to embrace the limitless possibilities of the love of God if we allow ourselves to do this. And then, of course, we are sent out to embrace our world. So we are embraced by the love of God and we're called friends. We know our new identity in God, in Christ. And then we're turned around and sent out to embrace the world, our neighbours, and often the grimy, gritty realities of the lives that we all live. After all, the loving forgiveness we find in Christ is forgiveness from the sin of separateness, of holding ourselves apart, which at its root lies in the problem of pride, our egos, our sense of superiority, our fight to be independent rather than to acknowledge that we're actually created for community. We're created to be together. And there can be no forgiveness, as someone has said, without a death. Well, that sounds a bit bizarre, you might think, a bit macabre even. But it is allowing something within us to die. And of course it is allowing our sense of independence, our narrow separateness and our pride to die and to allow to be reborn in ourselves, that sense of humility. And we do this all together, collectively, as friends of God in Christ. I believe that rebirth is going to be a theme of 2021. It's going to be rebirth in all sorts of different ways and dimensions in our lives, in our community, in our wider community. Is going to be a rebirth socially. Yes, please, Lord. With all these restrictions to remain isolated falling away, it's going to have to be a rebirth psychologically as we work to minister and strengthen people's mental health, to help them recover from the traumas of the last year. And of course, we hope, and of course, well, it is in a sense, if it is socially and psychologically rebirth in those dimensions, it is going to be also, because we are integrated whole people, it's going to be a spiritual rebirth as well. And that's what we can look forward to in 2021, the year of the great reset. And this rebirth in our area will be a great adventure, an adventure in friendship, in love for those in our community, of embracing all the challenges that we find as we find them in our community, and finding them being fully met in the love of God. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this week, the reflections each day, and look forward to seeing you again sometime in the not too distant future. Goodbye.